Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, it's time for Hey Coach and the Nate Oats Show on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Hey Coach and the Nate Oats Show are presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Also brought to you by Ford and your local Alabama Ford dealer. Proud partners of the Crimson Tide. McCurry Van and Car Rental. Rent local with McCurry Van and Car Rental. We offer the perfect vehicle for any need. Proudly serving Alabama. Visit us today for a hassle-free rental experience. Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places. And by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Now, live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, here's the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart.
Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you with us. So glad to be here. And on time as well. Glad you're with us, folks, for another edition of Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Excited about tonight's show. We have got Coach Patrick Murphy of the Alabama Crimson Tide softball team. Red smoking hot is the Crimson Tide. We look forward to talking about what's happening on the diamond with the Crimson Tide. And speaking of hot, how about the Alabama men's basketball team? Red hot as well. They've already made their way to Athens, Georgia, where they're going to play tomorrow night against the Bulldogs, trying to keep the streak rolling after a fantastic, never any doubt, had them the whole way right where we wanted them, victory against the Tennessee Volunteers on Saturday. If you missed it, none of what I just said was true, except for the fact that Alabama won and it was a great victory, but got it done down the stretch. The only lead they had was the one that mattered at the end of the game, so we look forward to letting you hear the conversation I had just a short while ago with the head coach of the Crimson Tide as they arrived in Athens today. Again, our program is brought to you by great sponsors such as our host for the show each and every week, Baumhower's Victory Grille, where you can spice up your favorite recipes with the signature sauces from Baumhower's, like their hot sauce, sweet Thai chili, white barbecue, and Jamaican jerk. Baumhower's legendary sauces now available in grocery stores throughout Alabama, or order online at baumhowers.com. Baumhower's Victory Grille, it's the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide. Do want to remind you as well to listen to Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, Tuesday and Thursday afternoons on all CTSN social media outlets. Crimson Drive live Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 Central, so be sure to join us for the latest there on Alabama athletics. And another place to keep up with everything Alabama is the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. It's available at the App Store and at Google Play. Download that Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free. Leading off, head coach Patrick Murphy, when we come back here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When trouble trickles into your life, Alfa is right beside you, helping you wade through those waters. Ready, reliable, right when you need us. Because taking action is better than making excuses. And getting it handled is better than hoping it goes away. We'll get the cleanup process started, so you can get back to what matters most. That's life with Alfa Insurance.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Lease a new 2026 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for $289 a month for 39 months. Offer valid through March 2nd, 2026. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $42.88 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Ants in the kitchen, termites under the floor, mosquitoes in the backyard. It's a full court infestation. Don't let them score. Call Cook's Pest Control. Nobody beats Cook's when it comes to superior protection against unwanted pests. Cook's knowledgeable and courteous technicians are expertly trained to get the job done right. Guaranteed. With Cooks on your team, your home's defense is unstoppable.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie Cooks Pest Control.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At CB&S Bank, tradition runs deep. Since 1906, we've been serving families and communities with stability you can count on. And today, that legacy of service continues. Recognized by American Banker as the 16th best performing bank nationally and #1 in Alabama in their asset category. Being a team member is who we are, which is why we're proud to support University of Alabama Athletics. So, bank with the best. Visit cbsbank.com to learn more. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Alabama Education Association is the member-driven voice of Alabama's education employees. AEA members are teachers, education support professionals, administrators, professors, future teachers, and education retirees. Joining the Alabama Education Association has never been easier. Use their new online membership for a fast, safe, and secure way to join today. Visit myaea.org to learn more.
Glad you're with us for more of Hey Coach, presented by Coca-Cola. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola, that is a winning combo. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola. Nobody better to enjoy an ice-cold Coca-Cola with than the head coach of Alabama softball, Coach Patrick Murphy. He joins us here at Baumhower's Victory Grille. Glad to have you with us. And, Coach, great to be talking about a team in the Bama Crimson Tide that sits undefeated through the first 3 weeks of the year. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and thanks for everybody that's here. There's a huge softball contingent, so you guys are the best. I've got 3 of my managers right here as well. Thanks for coming, you guys. And then I think we're going to get to talk to Jocelyn Briski as well.
Yes, sir.
And my SID's over here. Our administrative assistant, Sherry Selby's over here. So it's going to be a great night, and thanks to Baumhowers for hosting again.
It is – the fact that you mentioned all of those individuals is fitting because our athletic department is probably about as close a group as I've ever seen for a school and an athletic department as large as Alabama's. But I know that the individual teams are truly family. And you've been phenomenal. How do you do that? How do you get what you require of your young ladies, game in and game out, and the entire staff, and yet also maintain that family atmosphere?
Well, there's no jealousy among anybody in the department, number one. And I think it starts at the top. And it goes all the way down to everybody that's a unsung hero that doesn't get any publicity, that nobody knows what they do. But if we didn't have them on staff, there's no way that any team could do what they do.
Right.
You know, and there's so many people that just with softball alone, you know, and you could go with men's basketball. Women's basketball is heading to Greenville for the SEC tournament. Men's basketball has 2 games left at Georgia, Auburn at home, you know, and the people that are around that team behind the scenes, what they do day in and day out, there's no way that Nate wins. What's he on, a 7-game winning streak? 8 games?
Now.
8 games. So all those people deserve many, many thanks. And just the head coaches as a group also stay together, and we're very close.
It is it's special to see, and obviously family has a whole lot more fun when you're winning.
Exactly.
Like your group is. You hadn't even, for a while there, Coach, you weren't even challenged. But then when you were in some tight games, able to get the win. Tell me what you learned in those games, maybe more so than even the blowouts.
Well, number one, I think one of the games at Florida State, and, you know, they're a good team. I hope they win the rest of their games. Anytime we beat somebody when we're done playing them, like the 3 teams this weekend, we want them to go on to have great years because that helps our RPI at the end. Because the more they win, the more those wins look better for us, RPI-wise. But there was a game where it was the last game of the weekend at Florida State. We're playing Dartmouth. It was a Sunday morning. The wind was blowing 80 miles straight across, so anything in the air was shut down like a steel curtain. And, of course, we pop up about 6 times in a row, which was not good. Then they score, and now it's 2-0, and it's like a 4th or 5th inning, and now we're starting to get a little tight, feel it a little bit, and then all of a sudden we score 3 runs and, feel much better. The pitching staff comes through. Defense plays well. Marley Giles comes off the bench, gets a big double. And then at the top of the 7th, she throws a runner out, which with no outs. And the kid was trying to steal, and Marley threw her out by a mile. But it's things like that where you have really good senior leadership. Somebody steps up to the plate. Somebody steps up on defense. And then you get a feel of how competitive your team is. Because 2-3 years ago, we might have lost that game.
Right.
And now with 7 seniors on the roster, there was there's no way in hell we're losing this game. And I don't care what the score was. If it was 8-7, 8-0, or 3-2, which it was, we won the game.
Right.
And I will take an ugly win anytime over a pretty loss any day of the week. I know you would too.
Yeah, there's just so much better than saying, great effort, we'll get them next time.
Oh, gosh.
It's amazing. All right, when we come back, we're going to visit more with head coach Patrick Murphy. Alabama softball undefeated and highly ranked once again. And we're going to talk with one of the reasons why when we return here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast. Hey Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider Podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live booth and courtside cams, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus replays of Crimson Tide Rewind. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes, coaches, and media members that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Crimson Tide. The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast. Hey Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider Podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live booth and courtside cams, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus replays of Crimson Tide Rewind. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes, coaches, and media members that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Crimson Tide.
Talking about some of the fun stuff during the commercial break that you could do when you call Arizona home. Coach Patrick Murphy, we'll let you do the introduction of the young lady who is the SEC softball pitcher of the week and heads up the Phoenix Tourism Bureau.
Yes,
as
she
well.
does. So I like to tell the story of how we saw them, how they were recruited, etc. And I was in Colorado recruiting at this huge major softball tournament in the summer, and the summer ball team that she was playing on was playing against a team from Birmingham, and they were both really good teams. And you do not see many shutouts in Colorado because the ball just flies. Right. Well, she shut out that team, and they had 9 Division I players on the team, and it was 1-0, I believe. But she shut them out, and afterwards I told my staff, I said, that's the kid that I want for that class as a pitcher. And I usually don't tell anybody who we're going after, because if I say to you, Chris, I'm going to recruit Jocelyn Briski, you're going to tell somebody else, and then half the country is going to come watch her and then recruit her. So I just keep my mouth shut. So anyway, when we called her on the first September 1st, she was shocked because she had no clue that we had any interest. Yeah. Which is how the rules are written. Yeah. She's not supposed to know. Right. So anyway, we're really glad she's here. And then a little newsworthy, her sister, Ava, is going to join us next year. So it'll be the second sister combination. The Johnson sisters, Jenna and Lauren, were the first, and now the Briskis are the second. And just a great family, and we're really glad they're going to wear crimson.
I hate to break it to you, but we're probably not too far along from the first mother-daughter combo that you would be able to coach.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm sure.
Only because you've been at this long enough.
I know.
Getting there. You were 5 when you started coaching at the University of Alabama.
Yes.
Jocelyn, tell us for you, why Alabama? Why was it a fit?
The moment I came on campus, Alabama was my 3rd visit. I fell in love right away when I got here. The coaches, everyone was so inviting. Lauren was on my visit. She's my best friend. She's my roommate, and I just became really close with her. And it was really just an awesome feeling. Definitely the most inviting that I felt. Loved campus. Loved everything that Alabama was about.
Yeah, and no dry heat, right?
No.
Yeah, because our summers are just so wonderful compared to obviously in jest when I say that. But this is a place that's known for winning. So, do you remember the first time you knew about Alabama softball? Anything stand out for you?
I feel like I remember really watching them in the World Series in 2021.
Right.
I think it was. Yeah, and I mean, being from the West Coast, I followed a lot of more of the West Coast teams, but the SEC has become a really dominant powerhouse for softball, so I started to kind of shift over towards the SEC, and Alabama's always up there every year. So
SEC Pitcher of the Week, best league in America. How special to get that designation. I understand you're a team player, as all the young ladies are, but to get that type of recognition's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely an honor. Super awesome. Obviously couldn't do it without my teammates, the defense and everything. The catcher, Lex and Marley, they're awesome back there. And so it really is just an honor.
Awesome. All right. Coach, what is it about her that makes her unique, that allows her to be as successful as she is?
Well, this year, I think when she came back from summer, she was bound and determined to be better. And Lance McMahon, I think Jocelyn would say the same thing, did a great job all fall with all the pitchers. But her strikeout or strike to ball ratio right now has got to be a record for Alabama. One game, I think she threw 57 pitches and 50 were strikes. Another game was 47 pitches and 40 were strikes. And as we were talking before, just the timing of the game has been shortened by 20, 30 minutes every time she pitches because it's nothing but strikes. And she only has 2 walks on the year, I believe. And just that alone keeps a game moving. Right. And as a fan, that's what you love. You want to see action. You don't want to watch walk, and it kind of lulls the defense as well. So everybody plays great behind her because they know it's a strike and it could be put in play, which she had a career-high 14 strikeouts the other day. So that game there wasn't too many balls in play.
Yeah, that answers my question. I was going to ask you, how do you keep hitters off balance when they know the pitch is going to be around the strike zone?
So my main pitches I throw are rise and drop ball, and so we call it tunneling. So throwing two different pitches in like the same zone through the zone, but
they don't know if it's going north or south.
It goes in opposite directions. So Lance does a really good job pitch calling. Going drop and rise here, going like drop, and then throwing like we call it the dagger with a rise ball. So really just trying to hit spots and mix up pitches.
Awesome.
So most college softball players can't go drop ball, rise ball. It's either one or the other.
Got it.
So as a hitting coach, you would say, just see it down, see it down, see it down. Or bring it up, bring it up. Well, with her, you don't know which way it's going. So it makes it doubly hard. And then she'll throw in a nasty changeup and absolutely freeze the batter. So she's got 3 legit pitches that she could go to.
Fantastic. All right, when we come back, we're going to continue talking not only with head coach Patrick Murphy, but also Jocelyn Briski, the SEC softball pitcher of the week. We're going to talk about what's coming up for the Alabama Crimson Tide next here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Clyde Mays Whiskey, the official state spirit of Alabama, perfected under the Alabama Pines and a proud partner of Alabama Athletics. Now officially bottled in Troy at the Connecticut Ridge Distillery. Bold spirit, southern roots, roll Clyde.
Don't stop planning for your future. Don't stop investing in your kids' education. Don't stop dreaming.
Coach Oats, great game today.
The team found another gear. They kept grinding, didn't quit, and found a way to deliver another victory.
Like Ford F-Series trucks.
Right. The way you become America's best-selling truck for 48 consecutive years is delivering legendary performance and capability in the big moments, like today.
Thanks, Coach. For great offers on a new Ford truck, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of Alabama basketball.
Roll Tide.
Based on 1977 through 2024 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Alabama Power is here for you when big storms hit, but we're also here for the little things. We're there to get the coffee started, to make sure everyone's ready for school, for midday dance breaks, and evening entertainment. We're also there to help you save on all that energy with easy-to-use tips, tools, and efficiency programs. So enjoy these moments.
Kids, movie night.
And we'll do the rest. Visit alabamapower.com and follow us on social to learn more.
Clyde Mays Whiskey, the official state spirit of Alabama, perfected under the Alabama Pines and a proud partner of Alabama Athletics. Now officially bottled in Troy at the Connecticut Ridge Distillery. Bold spirit, southern roots, roll Clyde.
Domino's delivers game day across Tuscaloosa and the surrounding area. Locally owned in Tuscaloosa for 30-plus years, the team at Domino's is proud to be a supporter of Alabama basketball and athletics across the capstone. Domino's would like to thank our customers for supporting our local business for over 30 years. Make Domino's your choice on game days year-round. Domino's is proud to deliver your Alabama Crimson Tide game days anytime. Just visit RollDominoes.com. Thanks for your business and Roll Tide.
Coleman Coliseum gives the Tide a big home court advantage. When it comes to your home, count on Tri-Green Equipment to give you a big tried and true advantage with our lineup of John Deere equipment. From riding mowers, compact utility tractors, skaters, to large agricultural equipment, they've got serious game. Plus, the tried and true Tri-Green team is always there when you need an assist. Stop by one of our locations or visit TriGreenEquipment.com. Proud sponsors of Alabama Crimson Tide basketball.
The SEC softball pitcher of the week, Jocelyn Briski, and her head coach, Patrick Murphy, joining us here at Baumhower's Victory Grille. I'm Chris Stewart. Our show presented by Alfa Insurance, auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Our first question of the show each week is brought to you by Alabama 811. Help prevent injuries, outages, and loss of life. Call 811 or visit AL811.com. Before you dig. It's free, it's simple, it's the law, it's the first call. That means it's got to be Pee-wee down in Grand Bay. Go ahead, Pee-wee.
Hey, Coach Murphy, how are you, sir?
Hey, Pee-wee, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Miss Jocelyn, how are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm going to pull out my Coach Saban question for the evening. This team has started off having great success this year, starting 20-0 for a very historic run. Coach always says that with great there's always complacency that comes with great success. I'm just wondering, how have y'all not allowed complacency or anything to come into the season going into SEC play?
Well, as Chris told me that you were waiting, I was like, man, I started to kind of get nervous a little bit because I know you call Coach DeBoer every week, and I know you call Coach Saban every single week. So this is kind of an honor, so thank you. But the thing that we say all the time in our program is the best way to respect an opponent is to kick their ass. So I don't care who we're playing. I don't care if it's Northern Iowa or Ole Miss. It does not matter. And the way you respect somebody is to bring your best every single game, because if you don't, they're going to look over in the dugout and say, that team isn't respecting us. They're going through the motions. And I never want us to ever go through the motions in a game. And then it would come out as, we're going to show them. And then all of a sudden their pitcher gets hot and she thinks she's an All-American. And then it's 0-0 in the sixth inning, and now it's not a very good feeling in our dugout.
Right.
So the best way to do that is to absolutely play your best, regardless of who you play. It does not matter. And chances are the scoreboard will be a good ending for us.
Thanks for the call, Pee Wee. As always, great question, great answer, Coach, and great challenge this week. SEC play starts. League is tough as always. You go to Ole Miss. They're off to a good start, I believe, at 18-5 right now.
Yeah, they're going to be really good. And, Jocelyn knows some of the kids on that team. They recruit all over the country. She's done a really good job. They were at the World Series last year.
Yeah.
So it's every SEC series is going to be either a regional team, a super regional team, or a World Series team. So that's just the way it is in the SEC. And we go over there. We haven't played over there for a long time, it seems like. They have a new stadium. First time any of us will have seen that. So that's exciting, and hopefully they have 3 really big crowds.
Yeah. Jocelyn, what's the difference, I guess, SEC play as opposed to regular season action?
I wouldn't say there's a huge difference. We kind of like to separate our seasons, so we call it SEC season, second season. We just have to look at one game at a time, not looking ahead. This weekend we could have been like, oh, we're playing St. Thomas or we're playing Oakland, but we have Ole Miss next weekend. Like, let's start preparing for Ole Miss, and you kind of just can't look ahead, and you have to take it one game at a time. So now it was great what we did in non-conference. We're all super happy about it, but now starts the second season, and it starts Friday at Ole Miss.
Murph sounds like she's got coaching in her future. She had all that down just right.
Yeah, she could. That's exactly right.
Hey, appreciate you both very, very much. After those games, you are back home. You got Samford on March 10th for your midweek next week. And Samford's, I know, had a good program over the years, and that'll be good to have a great crowd at the Rhodes House when you're back home.
That's a nationally televised game on the SEC network, so it's at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night. Hopefully we'll have a packed house so it looks good on TV.
Look forward to it. Coach, Jocelyn, thanks so much to you both. Appreciate your time so very much, and continued success as you head over to the Grove.
Okay, thanks a lot, Chris. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Coach Patrick Murphy and also Jocelyn Briski, SEC Softball Pitcher of the Week. We're coming back. We've got more. Stay with us here on Hey Coach on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Basketball at Alabama means one thing: time to dunk. And we're not just talking about on the court. At Fusakli's, we're dunking our hand-battered chicken fingers straight into our house-made sauces and washing it down with our fresh squeezed lemonade. Whether you're heading to Coleman Coliseum or watching from home, make Fusakli's your pregame stop. Hot, fresh, and made to order, just the way Tide fans like it. Fusakli's, proud partner of the Crimson Tide.
Whether you're hiking the trails, tailgating before tip-off, or cheering courtside, Mountain High Outfitters has the gear to keep every Bama fan ready for adventure. From Patagonia and On Running to Yeti and Free People Movement, you'll find all your favorite outdoor and lifestyle brands. Visit Mountain High Outfitters in-store or online at mountainhighoutfitters.com.
The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast. Hey Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider Podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live booth and courtside cams, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus replays of Crimson Tide Rewind. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes, coaches, and media members that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Crimson Tide. The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast.
Hey, a lot of things to catch up on real quick on our schedule this week for Alabama athletics. Baseball returns to action tomorrow for a midweek contest at home against Jacksonville State. Then they travel to Montgomery to take on Alabama State. That is going to be on March 4th. So home on Tuesday against Jack State, and then in Montgomery at the capital city taking on Alabama State on Wednesday. Also, we've got gymnastics at home Friday against Kentucky. So another opportunity to see the Tide in Tuscaloosa. They host Kentucky Friday for gymnastics, and also women's basketball plays Wednesday in the SEC tournament. It's a 7:30 Central tip time for that one. Missouri providing the opposition. You can hear those games. Roger Hoover on the call for the Crimson Tide Sports Network. When we return, talking with Nate Oats, Alabama men's basketball next on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Tide pride. When I'm carrying the University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Bama gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra Roll Tide from the cashier, too. Visit Regions.com/GoBama to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
This is Jack's country, and on game day, nobody shows up empty-handed. Make a winning play with Jack's Catering. Hand-breaded chicken fingers, crispy fried chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and all the southern sides your crew craves. Whether it's a game watch or a family get-together, Jack's brings the flavor that scores every time. Order now at eatatjacks.com or on the Jack's app. Jack's, all about the South.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bama fans, why wait to start your college journey? With the University of Alabama Early College, high school students can earn college credit from UA now, online or on campus. Students are eligible after completing the 9th grade with a 3.0 GPA or higher. Thousands of students across Alabama and the United States are already part of the Crimson Tide tradition. So don't just cheer for the Tide, join it. UA Early College. Legends start here. Visit earlycollege.ua.edu to learn more. Roll Tide.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the University Student Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryant Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
Did you know that at Chevron, you can fuel up on unbeatable mileage and savings? With Chevron Rewards, you'll get 25 cents off per gallon on your next 5 visits. All you have to do is download the Chevron app and join to start saving on fuel. Then you can keep fueling up on other things like adventure, memories, vacations, daycations, quality time, and so many other possibilities. Head to your nearest Chevron station to fuel up and get rewarded today. Terms apply. See ChevronTexcoRewards.com for more details.
Byline, directing traffic, goes right, stops, looks, 10 to shoot, gets into the paint, step back, cleaner, bottom, and Alabama leads with 22.8 to go. And that would be the final points, as Alabama was indeed able to knock off the Tennessee Volunteers. Got to light them up for the first time in 5 matchups, or actually 6, I guess. It ended the 5-game losing skid to Rick Barnes' Volunteers. Great win, 71-69 on Rocky Top Saturday night. A little bit earlier today, I had the chance to visit with head coach Nate Oats, and the conversation brought to you in part by Alumni Hall, your ultimate Crimson Tide shopping experience. Shop top brands like Nike, Champion, and Columbia, hats, accessories, and all your game day gear. Head to Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa or shop alumnihall.com. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Roll Tide and shop Alumni Hall. Here's the conversation with the head coach of the Crimson Tide.
Coach, always good to talk to you after a couple of wins, but especially one as meaningful as that one in Knoxville. I guess there are indeed different ways to skin a cat, or in this case, a blue tick hound, and a heck of a way to get that one done in Knoxville.
Yeah, that was I can't say I've been associated with one quite like that before, where you get just destroyed on the glass and somehow still manage to win. Usually when you get out rebounded by 17, it's not a good ending for you. So, we found other ways. We shot it a little better from 3. We got to the free throw line, made our free throws, and we had guards made some big plays late. Aiden Sherrill, didn't lead us in scoring or anything, may have been the MVP with just how much he battled in there with the size of those guys. And I know he didn't shoot it particularly well, and I'm sure he wants to score more, as we all would love him to have him scoring a little more. But man, I thought he really fought and battled in there.
Coach, I'm not sure I've been a part of a game where the team I'm broadcasting for had a worse start, and yet you felt like, hey, we're in a pretty good position, because I may be off by 1, but I think you at the first media timeout, I believe you had 4 turnovers. I think you were 0 for 2 from the field without hitting the rim, and we're only down 5-0. I mean, it was a crazy, crazy start. And yet, instead of being out of it, you go, well, we've looked about as bad as we can look, and here we are 2 shots away.
Yeah, I mean, they're good defensively. We've struggled with them in the past. A very frustrating start. But, yeah, our defense wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But it grabbed a rebound, our defense would have been great. 5 points is nothing to us. So to only be down 5-0, I agree. Now, when it built to 12 at the half, it started to get a little dice here, because 12 points is a lot to make up against Tennessee. But with the way we play, you can make up 12 in a hurry. Now, Tennessee makes it harder, but we cut 6 off that right out of the gate in the second half. Then they kind of built it back to 13, and then we just kind of started chopping it down there the last 7 minutes of the game.
How were you able to shut them down the last 2 minutes of the game and outscore them down the stretch?
Yeah, well, outscoring them down the stretch, we had some pretty good players, so there was no magical plays I drew up. We had LeBaron, Philon, Holloway, Reitzel in the backcourt. That helps you score the ball. The stops, I did think, we Coach Adams doing a pretty good job making adjustments. I mean, he's in the NBA for 16 years. Like, a lot of adjustments made in those games. I think did a pretty good job. We kind of went to some switching, stagnated them. They were 0 for 5 from 3 in the second half. We definitely rebounded it better. Still wasn't great, but it wasn't nearly as bad as it was the first half. And we were fortunate. They missed some shots. I thought that last play of the game, Houston Millette did a great job going vertical right there at the rim, and Holloway got on the floor for a loose ball. And man, we made some big plays. That was fun to hear that play silent walking out of there. I don't know how long you had to sit in there, but I relished the silence of that place on my walk out.
Yeah, it's nice to hear Tennessee Waltz and Rocky Top after you've won, but when you've lost, it's got a different ring to it. There's no question. Hey, you mentioned your assistants, and I want to get back to the game in a second, and really a couple of other things relative to that and the way your team has won. But talk to me about your staff for a few minutes, Coach, because the game has changed so much, and I think the way you approach it is different from a lot of schools. It used to be, and probably in the college game, most of the time you'd have 2-3 assistants, and you kind of divvy up the scout, but you're all basically in recruiting, but you're all basically doing the same thing. It seems like, from fairly close to it, but from the outside looking in, that you've got offense, you got an offensive assistant, you got a defensive assistant, you got Coach Murphy, who leads your recruiting efforts. And I know they all contribute to all facets, but talk about the dynamic of your staff and how you've been able to piece that back together after having 3 guys together for the first 4 years. And after that, despite changes, just what the look of a staff is for you and what you're asking for them.
Yeah, so you get a pretty good idea how it works. Preston does the bulk of the recruiting, and the other guys try to pitch in and help. Fleming's got some overseas connections, so he's gonna, try to use that a little bit. Adams and Fleming have both been in the NBA. They try to use some of the agent connections they've had, as did Pinot when he was here. Pino, I think, is young, trying to work his way up. He works hard in the recruiting, but yeah, for the most part, Preston's pretty much signed everybody on this roster. So, and I think he's the best recruiter in the country. That's why after I hired him, I'm fortunate to have known him for a very long time. He's a close personal friend of mine, so I think he's great. When we got here, I kind of tried to do offensive defensive coordinator. Petway I took with me on the offensive side, and Charlie came in and ran the defense. So I've tried to keep it like that. Hired Adams to run the defense. Brian Adams, I think he's doing a really good job. Sometimes our personnel maybe not as conducive to having an elite defense, particularly this year. But I think he's doing a really good job figuring out ways to help the team win, even if our defense isn't top 5-10 in the country. We've got some very talented offensive players that we're putting in better spots to help win the games. And that's what everybody's goal is, to win the game. And I think we've got a pretty good staff with real good chemistry. Coach Fleming's been a head coach at a really high level in the EuroLeague over Germany, German national team head coach. So, he's going to have some input more than just offense, but he was hired to run the offense. Done a great job. We've got a top 5 offense again. We've had that for the last 2 years, and he's tweaked it and done enough stuff and really put our guys in good position to be great on offense. But he's also got some say on the defense because and Coach Adams always leaves it open. Like, and Preston helps. Preston runs the personnel. I've kind of put him in charge of, here just lately I did it, in charge of kind of the possession game. How can we turn people over more, try to, get the rebounding cleaned up. So Preston's very good X and O wise for a guy that's as an elite recruiter as he is, because you got to spend a lot of time on the phone recruiting. But, Fleming and BA both know offense and defense both, but they're kind of both in charge of their particular sides of it. And, Adam Bowman's in charge of analytics, and he more on the offensive side, and he does a really good job and kind of got different guys split up. Brady's more on the defensive side. Dudley's more on the offensive side. But, yeah, that's how we've split it up this year.
The head coach of the Crimson Tide joining us here on his radio show, the Nate Oats Show. And, hey, Coach, having to join us remotely as he is in Athens already with Alabama men's basketball, the Tide taking on Georgia tomorrow night here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Coach, let's go back for just a moment. The win the other night against Tennessee comes 1 week after the victory against Arkansas. Two great wins, both equally important, but you arrive at both in very, very different ways, even though both were just as dramatic. Tell me what it does, if anything, for your team and their confidence to win games against quality opponents like that, but also to win them in very different fashions.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of go back through our last four games. We got Arkansas one at home that goes double overtime. Shoot, we had to score 117 to win and needed all 117 of them. And then you go on the road, obviously tough winning on the road in the SEC. And, Philon wasn't up to his normal self. He's injured. We were a little rusty, but we found a way. I thought, our guards played well, and we wasn't our best output offensively, but we did enough and got a road win. And then you come home, Mississippi State, and, man, score looking like you're going to set some records for threes made in a game, and it's 16 threes in the first half, 63 points, and kind of cruised to a win. I wasn't real happy with our last 12 minutes of that game. But great start. Then you get to Tennessee and the exact opposite, like awful start, and had to come from behind. But, we had to come from behind against Arkansas. So, when we were down 14 to Arkansas, our guys showed some character. Now to be down 13 on the road, a little bit different. So I think we've learned in each of these, down 14 at home, then go on the road at LSU, win, come back, have a great start. Now we don't have a great start. We've just been figuring out different ways to win it. It'd be great if we could have a great start, great 40, great close, be good on both sides of the ball. Hasn't happened yet, but we haven't lost since January. So I'll take the 8-game winning streak at this point.
How much, though, do you attribute that, Coach, just finally having some continuity to your roster, despite not having Philon in the Mississippi State game, as you talked about? But, it's amazing when you only have one guy out, as good as he is, we talk about it as only one as opposed to two or three like you had in some of those early conference games. I mean, I think of the Vanderbilt loss, and you played, the final 15 minutes without Latrell Wrightsell, LeBaron Philon, or Aiden Sherrill?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's been great to get guys healthy. You look at a guy like Wrightsell, like you just mentioned, SEC Player of the Week. Think about all the pros in this league. It's a pretty good award for a guy that's battled through all the adversity he's had to battle through in his career. So, to not have him or Philon or Sherrill to close that game out and still be in it on the road at Vandy, I think that's where some people don't realize what we've had to go through if you're not really following the program closely, like you are, our diehard fans. So to get to where everybody's pretty much healthy and we're able to play the way we want to play. I think that's helping. Obviously, it's helped, start to get on the streak here, and we just need to continue to build on it. Road win at Georgia tomorrow night would go a long ways, but it's not going to be easy to get. They're a good team, and we're going to need every available body because they got some depth and they play fast, and they're going to, they try to turn you over. Like they're good. And then we got Auburn at home, and they're good. It's a rival game. That they've taken some losses here lately, but that's a quality team that's got some very good talent that, we need to be healthy and we need to have our chemistry right. And that we're definitely headed there as far as getting everybody healthy and having everybody play well together, get our chemistry together.
Coach, last thing before we let you go, give us something to look for. I guess it's your final word for the night, if you would, though. Give us something that we can look for down the stretch in this last week for both Georgia and Auburn that you really need to see from your team if we're going to get the result we hope.
Well, obviously it'd be nice to get the rebounds cleaned up after getting drilled by 17 against Tennessee. So huge point of emphasis is we've got to, we've been talking about the possession game and we haven't been great at it, but you can't win the possession game. That's kind of difference in offensive rebounds and difference in turnovers. If you're getting drilled on the glass. So we got to get the rebounding cleaned up, and then we got to figure out a way to start turning some people over ourselves. We don't generate enough turnovers. So we're going to try to be a little more aggressive, play a little harder. That's not necessarily gambling in the backcourt, giving up layups, but we got to be a little more aggressive on our defensive end to try to turn some people over without fouling, because we did a pretty good job not fouling against Tennessee. So can we rebound better on the defensive end and offensive end both? And can we try to do a little better on the turnover game? So that's kind of where our points of emphasis are going to be.
Always appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck tomorrow night. We'll see you in Athens.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Roll Tide.
That is Coach Nate Oats. The final word presented by McCurry Van and Car Rental. This is the Nate Oats Show, and Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. We're coming back and wrapping things up right after this on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live booth and courtside cams, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus replays of Crimson Tide Rewind. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes, coaches, and media members that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Crimson Tide. The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast. Hey Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider Podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts, and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Coach Oats, great game today.
The team found another gear. They kept grinding, didn't quit, and found a way to deliver another victory.
Like Ford F-Series trucks.
Right. The way you become America's best-selling truck for 48 consecutive years is delivering legendary performance and capability in the big moments, like today.
Thanks, Coach. For great offers on a new Ford truck, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of Alabama basketball.
Roll Tide.
Based on 1977 through 2024 calendar year industry reported total sales.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike, but they all have one thing in common. They're all strong. Feel your strongest with the Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any of our nationwide locations. Bring your friend anytime you want and recover from it all in the Black Card Spa with their hydro massage and other innovative amenities. We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness. Find your nearest club and join today. See Home Club for details.
At Red Diamond, we take a lot of things lightly. Dog on the couch? Sure, that's fine. Wearing socks or sandals? Why not? But sweet tea? Around here, sweet tea is a way of life. One of the unspoken rules. Just 3 simple ingredients: tea, water, and sugar, and that's it. Always refreshing. Always Red Diamond. Find us in your local refrigerated section. Red Diamond Sweet Tea. The perfect sip does exist.
Time for us to take a look at what's on tap next, presented by Coors Light. Crimson Tide fans choose to chill with an ice-cold Coors Light. Next up, Georgia. Tomorrow night, it's a 5:30 Central tip over in Athens, Georgia. Coverage starts at 4:30 Central and can be heard right here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. By the way, if you missed any portion of tonight's show, you can always catch it on demand on our Alabama Insider podcast. Download and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Hey Coach is presented as always by Alfa Insurance. The Vice President, General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network is Jim Carabin. Our studio engineer is Jerry Kelly. Ethan Carabin is our social media director and making the social media feed available on all of our different outlets. Tom Stipe, producer, engineer on site. I'm Chris Stewart, trying not to mess up everybody else's hard work. For all of us at the Crimson Tide Sports Network, hope you have a great night. Thanks for joining us. Roll Tide and good night from Baumhower's Victory Grill.